Welcome to another edition of Day Drinking with Kevin. In today's episode, we go on the road again, this time to St. Helena and Napa to visit with Don Gallagher at Trespass Vineyards. I can't wait to hear what he has to say. Trespass Vineyard was started in the year 2000 by Don and Dana Gallagher in a partnership with renowned winemaker Kurt Venke. Their small vineyard located in St. Helena is just amazing. So, how did all this start?
Well, my wife and I, we bought the 5 acres in St. Helena, and with the idea of building a home and planting the vineyard to get some income off the property. It's 5 acres. And one day she came home and said we should make our own wine. So, yes, dear. And here we are 26 years later.
Wow.
Happily ever after.
And I've been to the vineyard. They're beautiful. When you started, did you think you were going to be as successful as you are today?
I had no idea. I was born and raised in the Valley.
Okay.
Had no background in wine. Mom was a good consumer. Dad occasionally. But my wife is the one who is the numbers-driven CFO of another winery. But you have to have the product in the bottle.
Absolutely.
And I think a little bit of passion and a little bit of art goes a long way. So a little bit of mayhem. This is our 2017, and I had a Cheval Blanc once that just knocked my socks off. Of course, what a fantastic wine!
Absolutely
brilliant wine. And learning more about it, it's a Cab Franc Merlot based wine. Every year a little different. So I love those 2 varietals, and I started playing with ours, and here it is, 50-50 Cab Franc Merlot 2017.
You know, let's take a moment to talk about your different labels. You know, on the right we have a white label that indicates the single varietal wines,
Yes.
usually. And then the darker label are the blends.
Absolutely.
And so I think that makes it real easy for our customers to kind of understand what the difference is when they're looking at your wines on the shelf.
So our original label, the white one, a friend of ours, an artist that we had a few paintings by him, we contacted him and asked him if he'd be amiable to do a painting for us for a label. And that is Clark Mitchell, and that is his painting. And we loved it.
Now, do you still have the original painting?
Oh, that's yes, absolutely.
Sure.
It's a great investment in art. Fast forward 10 years, and we started making the blends. I started playing a little bit. I wanted to differentiate them and have some fun with them. So I contacted another artist who we had a couple paintings by, and asked him if he would be interested in doing a painting for us. And first thing out of his mouth, it just blew me away, was, does that mean you're not going to use Clark's picture anymore? And I said, how in the world did you know about that? This is the first time I'd ever talked to him, and come to find out they're really close friends. And he didn't want to bump his friend off the label.
Sure.
And of course I explained to him, no, this is in addition to. This is going to be our nighttime version, all the things that go on at night when we're not there. The mayhem, the rendezvous, the intrigue, the mischief. all these are blends that we have, and that is the difference right there between the daytime and nighttime labels.
Fantastic.
And Rendezvous started out because when I was working in the vineyard, thinking about the history of the vineyard in that area. Before we had it, it was an old Italian field blend, Dago Red, and they would co-ferment everything together in these big old wooden vats. So I thought, how intriguing is that? I'd love a chance to co-ferment our Cab Franc. And of course, Kirk said, well, I don't have any vats to do that with, but we could do it in a barrel. So from day one, we pick 1 ton of Cab, 1 ton of Cab Franc, and 50-50 as close as we can get into the barrels to co-ferment.
Wow.
So that we take the heads off, put the grapes in there. And so this is 100% new oak, and this is probably my favorite child.
You're not supposed to admit that.
Oh no, they all know.
Oh.
I select a lot of the barrels that we use based on my tastes. The blends I have a big, heavy hand in the blending of the wines.
Okay.
The creation of some of these wines.
That's fantastic. It's good to have that kind of partnership.
He doesn't have a big ego, and he easily could. And I get it. His name goes on these wines just right under my name, and it's part of his resume. And fortunately, we all agree, and everything is good.
Well, the great news is that it shows in the final product. Donnie, thanks so much for taking the time to spend today with Tracy and I. We really enjoyed ourselves and had an amazing time at Trespass Vineyards. If you like this episode, consider giving it a thumbs up and leave comments down below. And if you have ideas for future episodes, please don't hesitate to leave them for me, and I'll get to them as soon as I can. Until next time, this is Kevin McGuire saying, salute.